Hello, the Internet. My name's Laura, and this is The Law of the Prince Charming, Chapter 6.2. The Duke's Manor is a large brick building surrounded by a heavy wrought iron gate. The fog drifts through the air, swirling around them as they walk up the path. Wildrose knocks on the door, which opens a few moments later to reveal Butler. May I ask who is calling? We are storytellers, here to see the Duke of Greymist, Wildrose says. The butler's eyes widen. Storytellers? Yes, please come in, good sirs. He bows, ushering them inside before passing them off to a footman who leads them through the house to the Duke's study. Your Grace, the storytellers. The Duke stands from his desk as soon as they are announced. Storytellers? Welcome to my humble home. The Duke walks immediately to Tabitha and bows, showing off his balding head. I am the Duke of Greymist. Please make yourselves comfortable and let me know if there's anything you need. While I appreciate your cooperation, you should be talking to the Rose storyteller. Tabitha looks over at Wildrose. Scriven authorization. Wildrose turns a storybook to the Duke, who reads the words as they are written across the page. This book authorizes its bearer, the Rose storyteller, to act on behalf of the Storytellers Guild in order to guide and mentor any fairy tale and protect the surrounding area and peoples from any and all effects of mythics and magic. The Duke's eyes dart around, from the book to Wildrose and back to Tabitha, as if trying to see everything in the same moment. I'm sorry, sirs, I just thought. His eyes dart back to Tabitha. No apology necessary. However, we would like some tea. Of course. The Duke looks to his servant. Bring tea for the storytellers. The servant bows and leaves the room. Wildrose softly closes his storybook. Now please explain how you discovered the tale. A mythic managed to get past the wall about a week ago, the Duke says, rubbing his hands together. It caused some damage before the guardsmen managed to kill it, but the next morning the damage had been fixed. Has something like this ever happened before? No. Are you sure about that? Wildrose asked. Sometimes they get through. The Duke's eyes shift down to his hands, but that happens in a lot of cities. Our guardsmen always take care of it. I meant the repairing of the city. Has the city mysteriously repaired itself prior to this incident? Well, sometimes the damage is not as bad the next day as we think it is. You, Wildrose says, are lying to me, and I suggest you stop, because I am getting angry, and I can tell you there is little more dangerous for your health than an angry wizard. The Duke takes a step back. Are you threatening me? Yes, Wildrose replies. The terms of your contract stipulate that any time a tale is identified or even suspected, the Storytellers Guild must be notified. You knew there was a tale going on and chose to ignore it. I don't know what you're talking about. That is a lie, Wildrose says, touches his feather necklace. Tell me truthfully, have you been using the tale to draw mythics to the city? Yes, of course we are. The Duke draws himself up proudly. Our guardsmen are the best, and it's much easier when the mythics come to you. The Duke realizes what he said and deflates. That's not what I meant. And how many people have died when the mythics do get past the wall as the huntsman moves forward, growing taller with each step? The Duke makes a sound like he's being trodden on and stumbles backward, pointing an accusing finger at Wildrose. He forced me to say that. I encouraged you to tell the truth, Wildrose says. It's not my fault what the truth is. The captain of the wall guard, he's the one who contacted you, isn't he? The Duke demands, trying to regain his composure. I have half a mind to let the black storyteller do what he wants to do to you, Wildrose says, but that will not improve the situation, so I suggest you go get our tea, right now. The Duke doesn't try to hide the fact that he's fleeing the room. Wildrose shuts the door after him, standing there silently for a minute. So they knew the tale was happening, Tabitha asked. Every once in a while, someone gets the brilliant idea that having a tale drawing mythics can be very lucrative. Most tales end on their own, Wildrose turns, but you said the string of dead wives can continue on indefinitely. So we need a change of plan, Wildrose says. And get this Duke taken out of power? The huntsman's voice is tight, though he has returned to his normal size. I'll report what's going on here, but right now we need to deal with this tale. You're right, the magic readings in this city are entirely too high. I have no idea how the cartographer missed it in the first place. I'm sending you to the wall to help fight off the mythics that are being drawn in. We're going to have to encourage this tale to end, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. You're going in alone? The huntsman asks. I can go with him, Tabitha says. People will expect a man to lead the conversations, and you're not a storyteller, the huntsman says. You won't know what to do or say. Then I'll go as a lady, Tabitha says. The huntsman falls silent, his planned argument falling away. Well, I wasn't expecting that, Wildrose says. Wait, you're not actually considering taking him, are you? The huntsman demands. I admit, I'm curious to see the prince in a dress. If you can do it, so can I, Tabitha says. Done. Rose, the huntsman says sharply. You can't take him into a tale like the Bluebeard, especially not in this situation. You saw how the prince handled himself in the Cinderella tale. He'll be fine. The huntsman narrows his eyes at Tabitha. She nods back. The doors open and the Duke comes in carrying a tray of tea. He has absolutely no practice at it, and the cups shake roughly as he sets the tray on the table. Duke of Greymouth, Wildrose says, we're going to need a nobleman's carriage and a letter of introduction to the Lord of Bluedell. Yes, sir. The Duke bows, something else he's not very practiced in. He goes over to another servant and gives the orders, his eyes still shifting nervously. You really have this much authority as storytellers? Tabitha asked, watching the Duke keep a careful distance. We work for the Fae, so in matters of the tales we are the highest authority among the kingdoms, Wildrose replies. Then why steal my sword? Because your kingdom was not under contract, so you'd not agreed to the authority of the guild, Wildrose says. Some kingdoms don't, and they're left to fend for themselves. Though to be fair, I did try and buy the sword from you first. You weren't going to give me anywhere near what it was worth. I would have been able to pay whatever you wanted for it, Wildrose says, smiling sweetly. It's not my fault you didn't know what you had.